live life. Like how do you become a millionaire?
To be honest with you, one of the biggest things I've learned is that in order to be a millionaire, it's about how much you keep and not how much you spend. You can make $1 million in revenue and still be broke. A lot of people don't realize that. So when I first got started in business, I thought that every dollar that I made, I need to pay myself that dollar because I earned it. So then I can go spend it, go to the clubs, vacationing. You don't think I see so many entrepreneurs that be out flying everywhere, and I'm like, yo, he must be he living lavish, But what's so funny is what a lot of people don't know is that I literally make like $30,000 or less per year right now. Do you know I was making more money working my job than I did running a business that's making more money than the job than the salary that I had? I'm going backwards right now. The company has way more revenue. It's $1 million company, but I'm making little to no money. And you know why? Because what I realize is that it's how much you keep. And with the money that you keep, it's about making investments and actually spreading the money out. But how the heck am I ever going to be able to advance the company? How am I going to be able to innovate? How are we going to be able to bring more people onto the team that are going to allow the company to grow? How are you going to, like, all of these things you think about, how are you going to do all of that when you have little to no money because you want to pay yourself a lot of money so that you can look cool? So your lifestyle can be great. I don't like me. I rather invest and innovate. Like I would not have been able to have this. Like when I came up with that idea of with Jumpin' Jack Tax, I'm like, yo, I want to have that event at the Ritz Carlton on August 31st. Funny, when I called the lady at the Ritz Carlton, I spoke to her on the phone, and I'm like, yeah, like I want to have it here. It's gonna be a 6-hour event. I want catering and everything. She said, okay, cool. I'm thinking it was gonna be like 3,000. She hit me with the price and said, yeah, it's gonna be about 20 G's, and I was like, whoa, like damn. But since I was literally paying myself little to nothing, it was like, damn, the business had enough money in the tuck to be able to say, okay, great, let me make that investment because I know what's going to happen when I put on that kind of event and people are going to see it and they look at the company in such a bigger, such a more prestigious way. So I had to make that sacrifice, even down to the point of the new software that I'm about to build for Jumpin' Jack Tax that's going to take it to the next level. That's going to cost another 30 grand. The building that we plan to buy, the first Jumpin' Jack Tax building, for taxes, is like, how are we going to be able to do that if you have little to no revenue because you're bleeding the company? So my thing is, what I tell a lot of entrepreneurs is, from my experience, what I found is the best way to really build a lot quicker is to pay yourself little to no money, enough to survive, and then the rest of that should be feeding. You should be feeding your business at all times. Your business should be receiving about 80% of all of the profits, and let it sit there and use it to invest in other things. But when I first got started in business, I did that totally backwards. I literally was making, I was trying to make money and swipe the card and do all of that with little to no money for emergencies, little to no money to innovate. And now that's how a lot of entrepreneurs get stuck. And they're like, why am I not growing in my business? It's because you're not spending any money. And they're like, but I don't have any money to spend, because where's the money going? 9 times out of 10, it was going places that was stupid and uncalled for purchases. You didn't have to take that vacation to Bali. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to sit on that yacht and relax with your friends and try to be cool with your entrepreneur friends. I see people do that all the time, and I'm like, yo, that look cool, but I know what come with that. And a lot of times, don't be fooled either. That it's a lot of entrepreneurs out here. They be capping for real. You might see them on a trip in Bali, but you have no idea that they probably didn't even pay for the flight. They probably had a buddy pass that they took to get to Bali, and then they had a friend that rented the yacht out, and they sitting on there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you try to follow that, not realizing his context of how he did that, and now you spending mad money for it, and now you operating backwards off of somebody else's lifestyle, and that's how people get super caught up. So it's like you got to really disconnect yourself from disconnect yourself from influences that will cause you to spend your money stupidly, and really stay focused on investing as much as you possibly can into the business and feeding that. So when the time comes for you to really swing for a home run, and you see that one opportunity to say, yo, this is the opportunity to take my business to the next level, but it's going to cost this much money, you have the ability to just swing and go for it. Worst case scenario, you lose. Best case scenario, you win. Best case scenario, you lose too. Because guess what? Even if I win or lose, the experience that I gain from the win or the loss is priceless. Because now in the future, I'm able to take the experience and turn it into a better opportunity for that future. So like I look at everything as, it don't matter what I do now. I could do it, but at the end of the day, I'm going to reap the benefits of the win or the loss, because I'm going to be able to look back, bounce back, and say, okay, cool, I've learned from that. Let me do it different. But many people just don't have the experience at all, because they just never take the chances. But it's like here's my thing. How are you willing to take? Here's my thing. How are you willing to take the chance on buying a Louis bag, or taking a trip that costs $2,000-3,000, but yet you never took that chance on yourself when it came to investing in something that's going to bring back profitability? I never understood that at all. But it's because we're caught in this rat race and in this mentality, like we're trapped, where the TV constantly is trapping us into wanting to live a lifestyle that's not ours, to run away from our own problems, from our household, instead of just literally putting your feet in the ground and just fixing what's wrong. You can't fix what's wrong by going on a vacation. You can't fix what's wrong by running away from the issues that you're having with your parents or your spouse. It's still going to be there when you get back. Now you just came back in debt. You operating backwards. Fix what's wrong by actually putting in the work and doing what's necessary in order for it to permanently be gone and to create a better lifestyle for you and your family. You know? Like that's what I'm in. So I'm into action. I'm in all out action. And here's my thing. I was just talking to my wife about this not too long ago. A lot of people say, well, it's in God's hands. Here's what I realized about that. If it's in God's hands, then basically what you're implying is that God's hands are actually moving, that He's actually working to change the scenario. So if His hands are working and His hands are moving, why aren't yours? If you say that you believe. Because if you believe and you're like Christ, then that means that if His hands are working, your hands need to be working too. But I think a lot of people make the excuse of saying it's in God's hands so that they don't have to work. And they think that everything is just going to magically switch up and change. And that it don't work that way, bro. The same way that God is working, He's looking for you to work too. If it's in His hands, it's in your hands too, because you're a child of God as well. And His power is going to manifest through you. So what are you doing? Like it kills me when I see people say, "Yo, it's in God's hands," but yet He's like, "No, how about you go talk to your spouse? It's not in my hands. Go talk to your spouse and have a an adult conversation so that y'all can change things and fix your marriage." That's what He really saying. You know what I'm saying? That's what He's saying. Oh, it's in God's hands. Well, no. How about you go fix that problem that's going on with your parents or your friends? Go fix that. You know what I'm saying? Go fix the debt that you got going on. I'm not about to drop $5,000 from the sky into your wallet, and finally everything's supposed to magically just change your life, because guess what? You didn't change the habit. So you're just going to go back to the same old problem that you originally had, when you need to fix the root of the problem, and that starts with you. So stop making this excuse of it's in His hands, and start understanding that if it's in His hands and He working, you need to work too. Fix the root of the problem so that you can be better. And that's how He manifests. You feel me? I'm tired of that. I'm tired of the excuses. What's up?